Hello.
Hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for upNXT, postwrestling.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, whatever app you use, and of course,
Twitch.tv/upnextpodcast. Hello, Twitch room, and welcome Raiders right now.
we just got raided.
This is exciting.
You know why?
Why is that?
It's because the ruler's back.
The band's back together.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't die.
No?
There was dirt sheets about me.
How's Jack Evans doing?
Yeah, they tried to Jack Evans me, but it didn't happen.
Right.
The Cancun, the Mexican government, the cartel, they couldn't keep me down there, and I made it back.
You made it back.
Yeah, not without some, of course, gifts coming back home.
You're talking about the tequila or the...
Yeah, the tequila might kill the other
thing, the Rona.
Yeah.
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 It's been a fun few weeks, isn't it?
It has. It's been quite interesting. I went on a family Christmas vacation was supposed to be an 8-hour tour, and it just turned into 8 weeks. No, it feels like forever. When was the last time we did a show together?
Well, I guess 3 weeks ago since we did
Wow.
NXT. Thank you to Jesse and Sino and B Detroit for holding down the fort
Yeah.
while you were away.
Yeah, definitely. You did a great job hanging around, doing all the shows, watching everything. So thank you, because I didn't expect to be down there for as long as I was. Trust me, it's a very long and crazy story. We do have behind the BDE we got to record this week to make up for a missing one in December.
We do,
so.
yeah. We wanted to do one originally when you got back around the 27th, the 28th of December and talk about our Christmases and Mexico, but spanner in the works kind of shook things up a little. So we'll be doing 2 behind the BDEs this month.
Yeah, but I am back, and it's okay. I'm fine. Thank you for all the messages at upNXT Podcast for all the updates on all the shows that we've been doing. I thought I had No Way Home, and I made it. I'm happy I saw No Way Home maybe 2-3 weeks ago now, considering I was stuck down there and couldn't really go see it. And now the movie theaters are shutting down in
Theaters are
Toronto.
Closing again in Ontario.
Yeah,
I've lost my job for the 5th time in the last 2 years, so that's fun.
Just fun stuff.
Yeah.
I should have just stayed down there.
You should have.
I was having a good time riding golf carts around an island, going to the beach every day, partying, going to foam parties, margaritas. That was my life. And expensive room service. That was my life for 2 weeks. And then I came back, and I did miss the upNXT universe and you and all our regular stuff. But I'm kicking myself because it's fucking cold here.
Yeah, it's not the greatest. I quite enjoyed my isolation, to be honest.
Yeah.
I had my own room service. It's called Uber Eats, and I pay for it.
Yeah.
I have it delivered outside the room.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was quite a nice way of I guess recharging, and was expecting to go back to work afterwards, but unfortunately with new restrictions in Ontario, they said if you don't listen, with this first time listening, I work at a bar in a restaurant, and they've closed indoor dining, but they've said you can still do patios. It's -10. We're in Canada here.
It's sub-zero.
No one's doing
patios and stuff.
So yeah, little of this isolation's extended a bit further than I wanted, but I'm gonna be going home.
Yeah.
So
You're coming
I'm
home.
fucking off.
Yeah, you're abandoning the show. You're abandoning everyone.
No. I just will be doing 4 a.m.
Yeah.
What's next? Up next, moving forwards. I'm going to go home until the summer and hopefully come back when Ontario's kind of sorted itself out, hopefully.
Coming back?
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing a lot of Zoom up next, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. It's going to be another one of these weird lockdowns, at least here, because looking, in the States, they're doing still wrestling shows, and they're still doing stuff where we're looking like it's going to be this lockdown, this Omicron, or Amarion, not the rapper, the singer, who's been getting a lot of bad messages over the holidays. People confusing it.
Thinking he's the cause of all this.
Yeah. I mean, his music's not that bad, but
Never heard of him.
Well, yeah, and now everything's gonna be shut down here and stuff, and it's just what a bummer. So I'm been inside since I haven't left the apartment since coming back the past few days, just because I'm isolating and stuff. So I'm I have some mild. It feels like a cold.
Yeah.
Is what this feels like for me, but it's kind of not. It hasn't left me yet, so I'm a little like, when does this go away? So I'm just chilling. I heard garlic's really good.
Garlic's always good for immune system and being sick. I'm used to going out and walking a lot. My job, I'm on my feet a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So being stuck inside for 10 days, not going out at all, felt really weird. And my leg still hurts from the first walk. I like pulled my hamstring or something. Just not used to it, I guess. But
Is it just like achy and stuff?
I'm just old.
Is it COVID or is it just getting old?
I'm just getting old.
And the cold and
and everything
everything
hurts in the cold. Yeah.
Yeah, I came back and it's all really cold here, and I was like, man, no, I understand why people just leave.
I'm surprised you don't have a tan, really.
I had one. Maybe the first day, the back was getting really, really red, so I was scared. So I made sure to sunbathe. Consider to suntan lotion, whatever it's called. I'm pretty white, so it takes a lot. Like I easily just burn, but if I want to try to get a nice color, I did. I worked on it. It was nice, but I'm happy to be home, and I missed doing podcasts and stuff like that.
And you came back to a good show, I think. Like
I did, yeah. I did not watch NXT 2.0. Shockingly, while I was on vacation, I did not watch NXT 2.0.
Oh dear.
So I
you
don't
missed
know.
out on so much.
Yeah, AJ Styles is here now.
AJ Styles is here. Harlan's throwing people off roofs.
Yeah, a lot
Brian
of things
Kendrick
changed.
didn't show up, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot's happened since you've been away.
Yeah, I somehow managed to watch Dynamite.
Okay.
And I watched Dynamite, and I even watched some of the Rampage stuff. And we'll talk all about that tomorrow with a brand new BD Elite coming out on this very free feed. After Dynamite goes off the air at like 10:15, we record it live on Twitch like we're doing right now for upNXT. We'll talk all about Bryan Danielson, Hangman 2.
Oh.
So I'm super excited.
Is it going to go to judges' school? Who
Yeah.
are the judges going to be?
I saw Max Caster saying he's a judge.
I don't believe that.
I hope that's not. It should be Bret Hart.
I think Bret would be good.
I think it should be obviously it should be Jason Hervey from the Wonder Years because he was the judge, and the Frankenhooker again.
Frankenhooker,
obviously she was the original judge too for Ric Flair Steamboat, right?
Yes.
So clearly that's the judges. Probably
those three. I'm down with that.
Yeah, I'm excited. So we'll talk all about that and everything in the world of AEW on that show because we're super into that stuff as well.
Yeah, and on our patreon.com/upnext. Last week, we've kind of had to shift a few things around this month just due to COVID and Mexico, etc., etc.
And the cartel threatening me not to leave the country,
But last week I did a show with Martin Bushby from the British Wrestling Experience and Dickie Bird, the wonderful guy who helps us with all our videos and graphics and stuff over there in Australia. We talked about the film Brain Dead by Peter Jackson and kind of just nerded out over Peter Jackson for 2 hours. Really, really fun show that we did as a real like last minute thing. And then I was joined by one of our listeners, Anne Marie, to do an episode of Was Next, where we were talking about the July 10th edition of NXT from 2013. This included the first appearance of Charlotte, William Regal in a 6-man main event taking on the Wyatts. A lot to talk about there, so they're always fun. But it means we haven't put out yet our best match ever 2021.
Yeah, this is a big show we kind of do every year. Of course, we will be joining John and Wei from Post Wrestling for the Best of show and the Worst of show. I believe those are coming out this Friday and the following Friday, so we're super happy and honored to be able to join John and Wei on those shows. But a lot of that is talking about on the best show, best wrestler, and best match. And, well, we do a whole show, kind of a two-parter, where we've gotten all you guys, our listeners, whether it's the Facebook group or the Patreon pages and all that stuff. You, Davie, took all these votes and all your guys' votes of best match ever and the top 10 list and everything. And now you finally compile all the lists, your picks, my picks. We have a list, and
a definitive list.
Yeah. We go through Best Match Ever is a show we do where we run through a match, we dissect it, we give some ratings, compare ratings from other places, and then kind of pick which one is the best. So this is a top 10. We have part 1 coming out, probably put it out Thursday?
Coming out Friday.
Friday,
yeah.
And then part 2 out on Monday, out on the Patreon there. So both best matches ever. And yeah, this is an easy show to do homework for. I'm in isolation. I finally get back to my legal Canadian bud, and I'm hanging out watching the best matches of the year. It's been really fun, and we recorded part 1 with 10 to 6 from our list today, and can't wait for you guys to hear it.
And an early preview of our worst of 2022 is coming out tomorrow, as we're talking about Wrestle Kingdom 16, Night 1 and 2, and Evil versus Ishii.
Yeah,
we'll be going into a lot of detail about that. Early contender, very early contender.
Ishii in the worst match of the year?
Boy.
Yeah, it doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
That is a wrong sentence. But Ishii, yeah, I stayed up. I think I'm going to stay up after this tonight and try to watch. Very, very odd. But we're doing a show. We're going to talk about both nights. We're recording that tomorrow afternoon. That'll be out on the Patreon as well for you New Japan fans. Talking all about the main event last night, or this morning, really was really good. Yeah. But I'm hoping we get some more action on night 2. But holding my breath on that one. But
yeah.
And then finally, this Saturday on this very free feed and on twitch.tv/upnext podcast, I'll be joined by John Cena to take a look at this year's Hard to Kill pay-per-view from Impact. So we're back to Deep Impact, and we'll be talking all about that show this Saturday.
What's the main event?
I don't know. I've got to do some catching up.
I was going to say.
I think it's Moose Big Cass,
no
is
thanks.
it not? Or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah. Sounds good.
I do need to catch up and read some of John Cena's reports on Post Wrestling.
Well, listen to Shot in the Dark with John Cena on the free feed as well, covering all the wrestling you don't want to watch, including Impact.
Okay,
Wrestling.
no, this sounds pretty good. Jonathan Gresham, Chris Sabin for the ROH title.
Okay.
Trey Miguel, Steve Macklin. Steve Macklin's actually impressed me in there.
Okay.
You've got the Inspiration versus the Influence. Yeah, that doesn't sound great. Josh Alexander versus Jonah, as in former Bronson Reed.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Moose versus Cardona versus W. Morrissey. Mickey James versus Deonna Purrazzo in a Texas death match.
Hardcore country.
I've got to really catch up with this stuff.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Saturday.
That's Saturday night.
Yeah, that'll be on the free feed as well?
It will be.
Hey,
yes.
there you go. Free podcast talking about some wrestling you may or may not have known was happening this weekend. But yeah, that means the Patreon there, it's the new month. We have so many more shows. We put out the schedule today. We have the 2 best matches ever. We have Up Yours, where World Champ patron, friend of the show, Mr. Chris Elliott, has selected the Royal Rumble 2000. So we're going to talk all about that later this month. We're also going to do a watch along for the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
We were going to do it at a bar and doing a whole event, but shout out COVID. So
Instead, I'll be doing it from the UK.
there you go. We're going to be doing that and then talking about this year's Royal Rumble. But that means we also have the upNXT Rumble.
Oh, yes.
Returning this year. So there's a lot of stuff we're doing.
And former winner, the inaugural winner of the upNXT Rumble, Chris Elliott, who we're talking to about Rumble 2000, has volunteered to be entrant number 1.
Wow. Last year he won the damn thing.
Well,
This year he's
Edge
going
won
in.
from number 1 last year, didn't
Yeah.
he? So is Chris Elliott going to do an Edge?
Is Chris Elliott going to do who else won from number 1?
No, that's not.
Yeah, the upNXT Rumble is going to be another one of these fun Twitch games / podcasts, and I know we're going to do it on the Sunday after the Royal Rumble, so follow for all those stuff. But that'll be super fun, and yes, we have some surprises and some people already interested. I know your ears just perked up. Those people who want to be in the Rumble.
Let us know if you want to compete.
Yeah,
30 people.
it's not going to be like last year. You can't just you're not just going to be thrown in. You got to prove yourself to be in this Royal Rumble now, because we figured it's a lucrative spot now. A lot of people wanted in last year. We have all these shows. We have the More Was Next, another retro NXT review. I know World Champ patron, I think it's Greg, who's picked ICW.
Yeah, Fear and Loathing 8.
Yeah.
It's I think it is still the biggest independent event in the UK.
Damn. So we're going to talk all about that epic show. And, well, there's another Up Yours coming out. If you listen to the show, you might know a shocking thing, to some at least, that Davie, you've never seen the movie Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and our world champ patron and friend of the show, Mr. Fire Frank, the BD champ, who I'm sure will be watching the Rumble with stern eyes, he has selected for his Up Yours Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, unfortunately I'm away that week, but I'm sure the two of you will do a great job reviewing this
He's
film.
gonna. I wouldn't be upset if he canceled. If that was it. Like, imagine you're like, I can't do it. Actually.
I think I'm gonna have my hair cut that day.
Yeah. So you're finally gonna watch Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
It's a big thing happening on the show. People are excited. And I think that since I missed the show, I have to do a make good thing. And we're already reviewing a retro Rumble, and we're talking about the new Royal Rumble, and we got an Up Next Rumble. I just want a Rumble. So me and friend of the show, John Cino, we've decided later this month we're going to add in another extra show, another review, Rumble in the Bronx.
All right.
A review coming later this month. That'll be an extra bonus one on the Patreon. But so many things, and guys, it's only $5 to support us and all the podcasts that we do at your fingertips, wherever you want, at any time you want. But thanks for supporting and listening to us on this show as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you all for listening. The Twitch room's on fire tonight.
Hell yeah.
Because we're going to get into some New Year's Evil. Big show from NXT tonight.
New Year's Evil.
Evil.
He's on the other show.
Yes.
And he made the show pretty evil. There's a lot of stuff. What did I miss in the world of wrestling and news and dirt sheets and... there's a lot
Tony
going.
Khan had a fun New Year's Eve.
That'll be
didn't he?
we'll talk about that tomorrow for sure. But NXT, there was a story I read. I think it was Fightful reported that the original idea for MSK Shaman was supposed to be Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, it said there was even some stuff filmed.
They already filmed it, and then last minute had to scramble.
I kind of want to see that.
What would it be?
I mean, when they were originally teasing the Shaman, they were saying like a god of tag teams and that sort of thing. Yeah. Which, okay, Riddle's your tag team champion, but still don't really think of him as tag team wrestler. So that kind of makes sense. But yeah, I can see him fitting in the role. I can't say if we were to get the match we had tonight or Jeff Hardy instead, I would have taken Riddle. Jeff Hardy Walter doesn't quite interest me as much as Walter.
Sure. I don't know. We've seen Jeff Hardy beat other NXT superstars real quick, so maybe Walter would have been fast work for Jeff Hardy. Clearly, because actually Nash Carter looked like they have their gear that looked like the colors for Jeff Hardy, like the purple and green. Even his hair has the Jeff Hardy hair. Or did Matt Riddle have the Monica from Friends Vacation hair as well?
No, not today.
Nash Carter had it. Yeah, Nash Carter had it though. Yeah. So yeah, Jeff Hardy is the Shaman. Maybe they thought it would. It would be. It's interesting.
I can see it. I can certainly see it.
Yeah.
I read something today and I didn't fact check it, but I don't know if this is even a joke site, but something about Rob Van Dam giving up weed.
Fake.
That's fake.
Come on, what do you think?
Well, no, I thought it just sounded ridiculous.
Yeah, it was one of those not kayfabe
the Onion
news
kind of thing.
Yeah. That RVD gives up weed to start anti-weed thing with WWE.
Drug thing for kids.
Yeah, that's not true.
Good. I didn't think it was.
He's the real shaman.
You read the thing about Pfizer making a cure though, which was from the Onion.
Was it? Oh, yeah. No. Now they're saying that. No. They were saying that they're making pills, and now it's not as further. I don't know. I saw it on the news as well. But if it's on the internet, it has to be true and real. I'm trying to think of other things that I've missed in the past. I know Toni Storm took her ball and went home from WWE. Don't blame her on that part. Can't really say she's done too much in the WWE since. She
was in the main event against Charlotte the week before.
Oh, really?
The day before.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. So she was pissed.
No, they've been using her, but it must be hard, especially when you're living that far away from home.
It's not like you're seeing your family all the time or whatever. It must be difficult. I can imagine.
Yeah. So I could see her going to like an Impact or something down the line, but I know Britt Baker from AEW tweeted kind of almost signaling that she wants a match with Toni Storm. So maybe we will get to see that. But
I think she's going to be in Australia for a bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Wrestling.
That's where she's gone, right?
Yeah, and there's got to be some indie stuff down the line there. So yeah, let's talk about tonight's episode of NXT.
Let's do it.
2.0. It's a special edition. It's New Year's Evil, and well, Happy New Year's, and Happy New Year's Evil here tonight. It's kind of a stacked show. It is a good show for me to come back to because it has a lot of title matches, including the first match on the card, a title unification match. The North American champion, Carmelo Hayes, putting his title on the line against Roderick Strong, the Cruiserweight champion, who's putting his title on the line. And I love how they tell us, hey, no matter what happens, it's just going to be the North American title going forward.
Yeah.
Therefore, just saying.
They've said that for a few weeks.
The Cruiserweight championship
is dead. No
done.
more.
It's gone. This is the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. Does this have the same like lineage as the WWE?
Yeah, since 2016.
Oh,
It's
since
the same
2016.
title, yeah.
Okay.
Because they retired it in, 2007, I think, the old one.
Hornswoggle.
And then, this one's been for, five odd years now.
Yeah, so I just find it like it's not really unification. It's literally...
No, it completely is unification.
But they're like, we're just going to make it... we're not calling it the North American Cruiserweight Champion. I know at the end he has the two belts.
No, but that's what they normally do. Think
when did they
like New Japan when the IC title got
Yeah.
unified? It's not called the World Heavyweight Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
You,
What do they
you
call
get rid of the lesser one?
What do they call the new one? The Divas title one? Just the IWGP Heavyweight?
Sorry, the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah. So they did change the name a little bit, but
that's a new title.
Yeah.
That's new lineage.
Yeah, so this one just
This
is
is
Cruiserweight.
this is how they normally do it.
This is like Cruiserweight title's gone
Yeah.
now forever, as we kind of were suspecting they were going to do eventually, and it makes sense here. But if Roderick wins, that means he's the North American champion. Carmelo Hayes starts off this. He's got Trick Williams with him, and Roddy's got Malcolm Bivens ringside with him. And Hachi Man, he's been giving Roddy, he's yelling Roddy like things to do here in this match. I haven't really seen, I thought he disappeared for a little while there, but he's here. Carmelo Hayes technically like out wrestles Roddy early on, which gets Roddy a little upset. He delivers some chops to Carmelo, kind of putting him in his place. Eventually, Roddy's like hung up in the ropes in the corner and gets this leg drop from Hayes for a near fall. There's then Roddy on the apron, and Carmelo does this flying DDT to Roddy on the apron, which just looked nasty as they both crashed to the outside, but looked awesome. Like a DDT just on the apron. Back in the ring, Roddy fires back and hits the sick kick back from his old days, which flips Carmelo inside out for a near fall. They go to break. During the break, there's Hayes hitting his patented flying springboard clothesline. It reminds me almost of Mark Jindrak. I know that's such a weird thing, but he used to always do this corner clothesline. Carmelo does it, but from the middle of the ropes, like in the ring. It's like this same style motion. It looks great. I think it was the only move Mark Jindrak knew how to do properly. When they come back, Roddy fires back with some backbreakers and another one, but he can't get him down. There's a satellite facebuster from Hayes, a submission exchange where they're going back from different submissions like cross faces and single leg, and then the stronghold. But he can't keep Hayes down, so he hits another backbreaker. This one kind of like a Uranagi onto the backbreaker, and then an angle slam with the forearm train that he just keeps running back and forth. But Hayes kicks out. Hayes fires back with this move. I saw him do it a few weeks ago. I thought it was pretty cool. It's like you lift the guy up for a suplex, and then mid-move you give in the same position, you like give the guy a cutter. I think it could be like a finisher almost. It looks pretty cool.
It's kind of similar to Dustin Rhodes' move, right?
It's like you have the guy up for a vertical suplex, but instead there's no spin or anything really. You kind of just like instead
down
like
with the
cutter. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But Roddy kicks out of that. There's then an end of heartache that's countered into a super kick from Carmelo. He got out of this move really impressive, almost like a handstand onto his feet. They're then fighting in the corner up top, and I don't think I've seen this, an avalanche X-plex, a super X-plex.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure. It looked cool, whatever it was, but I just didn't quite understand whether it was meant to be an X-plex. I was wondering even if he was going for like end of heartache off the top. And what confused me was Hayes went for the cover immediately after. So I don't know if it was he was going for a move and Hayes was meant to counter it or what, but
it ended
up looking like an X-plex.
Yeah.
Which, it was a little confused with kind of Hayes capitalizing after it.
Well, Hayes eventually gets Roddy down. He climbs up and up the top turnbuckle, drops the flying leg drop to the back of the head, and 1, 2, 3, Carmelo Hayes pins Roderick Strong to become or stay the North American champion. But now he's got both the titles as he's celebrating, and that
leg drop's nuts. He gets so high.
It's like the John Cena one,
like
but
guillotine.
He really scissor kicks you though when he's doing it.
I loved this. Thought this was really good. We pointed out how Strong, as much as we love Roderick Strong, his kind of matches haven't quite hit recently, and whether it's been, I think a lot of the time's been lack of time on 2.0. You seem to have long commercial breaks breaking up these matches. These two got a good amount of time and managed to tell a really good match here. I think Carmelo Hayes feels like pretty firmly cemented in NXT now. I don't consider him as one of these sort of green like 2.0 people, even though he's kind of the new guard. I think he's going to have a great run with this title, and this was definitely the best Roderick Strong match for a while.
Oh yeah. Love Roddy. He even pulled out some of his old school moves, but like I think it's because he's just been getting these like 5-minute matches. But here, it had to at least been over 10. It felt like it went for quite a while.
Yeah, they got time,
and it was good. Honestly, it was really good. I think Carmelo Hayes has pretty much everything going for him. He's got the promo skills. The character is still coming along, but it's working, and the wrestling is been there. So yeah, I thought this was a hot opener, and it was cool to see Roddy give time. I always love watching
Roderick. They got 15 minutes here, which is good.
That's pretty good. So, but yeah, he's the double champ. He's celebrating. Carmelo, don't miss. Melo, don't miss. Yeah. So double champ. Where does he go? Does he face Cameron Grimes and stuff?
Yeah, Grimes
Something
later
like
says he's going for gold, so that kind of makes sense. Trying to think if he's been set up with anyone else, really.
Dexter.
There is always that, possibly. I feel that's kind of done now. Grimes would be good.
And pour one out for the Cruiserweight title. What are the best moments of that title? Not considering the WCW and WWE, all that before. But
Leo Rush, Angel Garza comes to mind.
Yeah.
They had a series of really good matches
on NXT. When they were just on USA.
Yeah.
Enzo,
yeah. Neville, wasn't he? Yeah.
Neville. Rich Swann.
Rich Swann.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had
the Cruiserweight Classic was
the Cruiserweight
for the
Classic,
title,
of course. The Drake Maverick, Santos Escobar, the whole reveal of Legado del Fantasma.
Yeah, true.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Man, pour one out for the Cruiserweight title.
Unfortunately, never really Kushida. Nothing really landed in that reign.
Yeah, it was just okay.
Which was a shame.
I mean, at least he held it, but it's just kind of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else there was.
You had, was it Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali at WrestleMania?
For the title.
Yeah.
Tony Nese.
Buddy Murphy, he had his run with it.
Oh, yeah, he won it at the Australian show.
Super Showdown.
That was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, that was cool. I remember there being a pretty good, was it a 3-way or 4-way? It was like Buddy Murphy, Akira Tozawa, and... yeah, who else was it? It was on a main roster pay-per-view, but that was pretty good.
Are they going to change the name of 205 Live, right?
Well, there was the thing the other week with Gacy, wasn't there? Where, was that a show you were on? No, it might be me and Sino. Gacy was like, my eyes are set on this other show where they like...
Weight shame.
Yeah,
whatever,
it's like you're not allowed to be on it, so we're going to change it there. But because 205 Live is neither 205ers or is it live? So
it's a lie, is what it is. 205 Live.
Any weight taped.
I guess it evolved.
That's a good name. Any weight taped.
Any weight taped.
Yeah.
Doesn't have quite a ring to it, but
205 is just a lie.
Yeah. They're all sitting on a throne of lies. Yeah, pour one out for the Cruiser title, but Carmelo Hayes, your U.S. North American champ, rather. But good match. We go to Bron Breakker. He shows up to the arena. He is ready for his world title match with Ciampa later tonight, and he's wearing his new NXT WWE Shop Bron Breakker t-shirt, which is just a photo of himself.
Hasn't he got the colors on it, though?
Yeah, I just always find it funny when there's a picture of just like a guy's face or just someone.
They're wearing it.
And they're wearing it. It's just
only works for Orange Cassidy, really.
Yeah, it's not like it's like the whole shirt is his face. It's just like a shitty little picture of him.
I mean, their merch has just gone
downhill,
further and further downhill.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look at it now.
All the NXT merch was just not good, but Bron is here and he is ready. Speaking of the title match later, the champion Ciampa is backstage and he's greeted by AJ Styles. That's right. How long have I been away? AJ Styles here in NXT. And Ciampa says, "Isn't this phenomenal?" And AJ says, "Hey, I'm happy to see you. I got to handle some business tonight, but I hope you defend that championship tonight."
As AJ walks off, Ciampa goes, "Welcome back to NXT," and he almost sounded more like his heel Ciampa, so I don't know if it's a little tease of something down the line. Obviously, with Ciampa no longer champion, it could be a nice exhibition once his Waller feud's over.
Well, what does he mean, welcome back? He's never been here before.
He came with the Good Brothers, didn't he?
To NXT?
Yeah, he had a little run a couple of years ago.
Oh, interesting. So, AJ's here to call out Grayson Waller next. But while they come back from a commercial break, we get the announcement of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. It's coming back. In 2 weeks, the Men's Cup will start. And then in, February?
February, the women.
The women's side of it. So, yeah. So, some tag team wrestling.
Makes sense. Last week, they featured, like, the 4 teams who aren't involved in the tag title picture. So, you're, like, Briggs and Jensen, your GYVs, Creed Brothers, and Jacket Time. And we kind of questioned, it was like, oh, why are they showing all these tag teams? Makes sense, the tournament's coming up.
Yeah.
Early pick for men and women.
Dusty Cup men MSK, two for two.
2 in a row, okay.
Yeah. And women, what tag teams are there? Indy and Persia.
Indy and Persia, I think. And you'll have Persia pretty much win the whole thing herself.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
I think Creed Brothers for men.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would.
I think MSK beat Imperium for the titles.
Oh.
Down the line.
Before this,
and I think. Oh, but MSK are entering it, aren't they?
Yeah, they said they're in it.
Yeah, it could be.
We'll
interesting.
See.
I usually enjoy the Dusty Classic, so we'll see with some of these newer teams that we're not quite convinced on. But
just always happy hearing Dusty's theme song playing in these promos. He's just a common man. It's a pretty good theme.
Good song.
AJ Styles comes down to the ring. Speaking of good themes, he ain't want none. He ain't want none. He don't want none.
He don't want none.
Are you sure? Because he really don't want none.
He's looking scared because he don't really want none.
I love this song.
It's a great song.
So good. I love this TNA theme. All of his TNA
Ain't
themes.
nobody breaking this red neck.
Do it with their hands muddy. They don't want none.
No.
AJ Styles, he's in his full gear and his shirt on. I wasn't quite sure what his shirt said. It said, "Phenomenally done." And I didn't know what that meant.
I don't understand.
Is he done wrestling?
Phenomenally. That to start with, phenomenally is a mouthful.
Is it even a real word?
Phenomenally done.
Because it looks like it's
never rust.
Yeah, he's got weird merch.
Yeah,
he's got really weird, especially in TNA. He had some weird merch too. AJ Styles has a microphone, and the crowd here are chanting AJ Styles so loud that he can't even talk for the first little bit here. And he says, "I'll never get tired of hearing that. Thank you very much." He says, "I don't want to make this sound weird or anything, but I didn't need NXT. Fuck NXT. No. I didn't need here. He says, my debut was at the Royal Rumble, and I didn't need NXT. But he did word for word say I didn't need NXT. He says, there's something special about this place, though. I know it. I can feel it. I wish I did come through here because there is passion here. I don't care if it's 1.0 or 2.0. It's passion that makes it go around. And I'll be damned if I let someone take that passion away. And he calls out Grayson Waller, who's been saying some mean things to AJ.
Shit about him.
Waller comes out with some great white pants and a black and gold shiny shirt. He says, you must have a phenomenal deflection and forgetting things. Last night, you lost to Omos. I guess on Monday Night Raw. I wonder if Omos took a bump in that match.
I did not watch it.
Oh, damn. He says...
Put it on after the show.
We'll watch... Oh, damn. He says, you didn't lose. You got crushed. And, well, I know people saying things about Grayson Waller, saying Grayson is green. He hasn't paid his dues. But I'm a student of the game. And I know what a lot of people don't know here. And there's this one guy who's totally a plant, but he's like, you don't know what I'm talking about. You look at you can't do anything. And he just runs this guy down, saying he doesn't go to the gym and doesn't have what it takes. He says, AJ, you were busy thinking of Grayson Waller. That's why you lost. And I saw that that's what cost you your match. And AJ's like, I have heard enough. I got my gear on, so, I've never had a one-on-one match in NXT. I guess he is referring to the time he had here. He says, so grow a sack and do something about it. Grayson then says, like, hey, I don't want to fight, but next week in the main event, he's basically like, tonight's booked up, but I could do the main event slot with you next week, and everyone will see the Grayson Waller effect. And he goes to, like, not attack AJ and then kind of tries to sucker punch him, but AJ turns it around and levels him, and then he gets leveled. And then AJ gets the one up again. And then Waller walks off here with AJ saying, you don't want them.
Yeah, I think they're doing a really good job with getting Grayson Waller really hated and bringing someone in like an AJ Styles who is such a fan favorite and has felt kind of underutilized really in the last year with this whole Omos thing. People want to see him wrestle. And I think having him in NXT, I think it makes him a huge babyface against Waller, who's seeming more and more comfortable every week when he talks, and was even on Raw the other week. I like, it feels kind of we're going back to sort of 2013 NXT, where you have your main roster talent come down because there's been some spring cleaning and we've lost a lot of the veterans either due to releases.
There's been spring, summer, fall, winter cleaning.
Yeah. But you've had a lot of your veterans leave either through choice of their own or being released. So you do need these younger guys to work with experienced talent. And I think having your like main roster talent who maybe aren't doing a whole lot at the moment, like an AJ Styles, like a Riddle, or even a Jeff Hardy by the reports, I think it's quite cool, and it makes show a little bit more interesting for me. And I think this should be a pretty good match between these two.
Yeah, I think it definitely it's a good little like mini feud here, especially I think prolonging it to next week to make it have something next week of some stature there. But just AJ Styles in NXT like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it would have been like, holy, look at all the like crazy scenario dream matchups and stuff. Now it's come down to he's facing the guy from Survivor, so it does like go it's a few years too late, but I know what you're saying. It will help.
The idea is to develop. Like,
for sure.
I'd have loved to have seen a Johnny Gargano AJ Styles, but it doesn't really help anyone.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that a year ago, if this were to happen, everyone would just be going, oh, they're just trying to beat AEW in the ratings. Like, we're beyond that. They're not head-to-head anymore. And having this kind of main event talent come down, it's most interested I've been in AJ Styles for the last year, I'll say.
Yeah, he's one of the best wrestlers, and he's just been not really doing too much. But I think that's just that whole promotion.
Yeah.
I mean, Me and you put on that day one event. It had some fun stuff, but I mean, Brock winning made me laugh.
Made it fun
because we both said he's winning.
Yeah,
and then we watched it and he won. It's like, damn, they really went with that. But yeah, AJ Styles should be like, I don't know, having feuds and having great matches with people, but instead he's doing this weird stuff. I am interested in the match with Waller next week, but imagine like Styles versus, Gargano, Cole, or any Ciampa even, which we've seen on the Indies and stuff.
I wonder if that was a tease earlier. Like, could we have next week AJ beat Waller and a pissed off Ciampa, having lost the title, just beats the shit out of AJ, starts a feud? That would be cool.
I'd much rather see that match.
Yeah.
So Waller beats him.
No, I think AJ wins.
We go to a video for Pete. I almost said Pete Davidson.
Not quite.
No, Pete Dunne. He's talking about Tony D'Angelo, and he says this is the best you can do, showing his hand all taped up and almost like a cast. He says, Tony, you poked the bear, and you think this is where it ends, but it doesn't.
Nah, mate.
I won't walk away just after that. This is just the beginning. There's only one of you this time. This ain't no war games. I'm going to rip your arm out of your socket, and I'm going to stomp your stupid mouth shut. So next week, why don't you try to finish the job and bring that crowbar, because trust me, you're going to need it. And it's later announced that Pete Dunne next week will face Tony D'Angelo in a crowbar on a pole match.
I believe I called this last week.
Yeah,
Bring it on.
Not quite Judy Bagwell.
Yeah.
But a crowbar on a
will take
pole.
it. Pete Dunne's like so much better at promos now. I think when we did one of our worst of shows one year, I said Pete Dunne because I thought he was horrendous. And I think the style, whenever he does these kind of video promos with there was a little music underneath him and everything, I think it's a way better presentation for him. I think he's sounding way more comfortable now.
Yeah, no, he does. It's because he's still playing this like not quite baby face, like he's rugged.
He's an anti-hero now, isn't he? Really?
Yeah.
But I enjoyed their first match, Dunne and D'Angelo, so this could be fun with the crowbar on a pole. It's been a while since we've had anything on a pole.
So you got to grab the crowbar.
Speaking of poles, they were giving free boosters at the strip club yesterday.
Now they're all closed down.
I know.
We can't even go.
Apparently you could get a free dance with your booster shot.
Damn, I do need my booster. I do need my booster.
Me too.
Fuck. What are we doing after the show? Is it already too late?
I think it's too late now. It was only on Monday.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it. Well, this was a booster in this show, this next segment. It's Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter backstage, almost like in the gym in the PC somewhere here training. Who is it that was with them? Amari Miller?
Yes.
Okay, so they're all hanging out here, and they're talking about how much fun they had for New Year's Eve, and Casey and Caden said that they had a lot of fun, and that they did a little Texas two-step.
Yeah, the country
and then
thing.
Miller gives them like a sour face, like, what? And Casey and Caden are like, oh, no, it's not what you think. Sorry, what does that mean?
I don't know. I hated
a
all
Texas two-step to me is a dance move.
Yeah.
Is there some sort of Urban Dictionary thing I'm not sure of? The Texas two-step?
Let's have a look. Urban Dictionary.
Texas two-step. Like, is that something like, they're like, oh, don't worry, it's not what,
After taking a dump and buttoning your pants, a Texas two-step is when you have to walk back to the toilet after 2 steps and poop again. That's pretty much how I realized I had COVID. I had the Texas two-step.
Yeah. This this segment felt like a Texas two-step. They're talking about how much fun they had, and then...
All right, I'm seeing some other things as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Urban Dictionary is fun.
Stuff that probably happens at the place where you can get a booster.
So... Persia and Indy walk in, and they're talking about New Year's resolutions, and they say that that they always fall short. No one ever lives up to their New Year's resolutions. And, well, this pisses off Casey and Caden, and they say, why don't, you find a friend and have a match with us three next week? And they say, who are we going to find? And they look to their, to the side there, and it reveals that in this gym area, Tiffany Stratton,
yeah.
She's sitting down on the phone, and they look at her like, hey, maybe you could be the third. And she goes, Daddy, these girls are so ew. And then gets up and walks off. And then
she's not wrong.
And then she's like, then they're like, who are we going to find out if she's not in? And then they see the sleepy couch girl. She's there. And they say, who are you? And she says, I'm Wendy Chu. Why are you looking at me like a ham sandwich? And they say, Wendy Chu? Wendy who? And then they that's the end of the segment.
Yeah. Wasn't Persia and Indy there as well?
That's what I was talking about.
Sorry,
That was them, yeah. So Casey and Caden walk off with Miller being like, hey, see you next week. It'll be a handicap match. And Persia's like, well, I've already dealt with handicap matches, so us 2 against 3 isn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening next week.
So Wendy Chu's in action?
No, I don't. No, I think she's busy sleeping or
busy
eating
sleeping.
ham sandwiches for some reason.
Well, we heard her talk, so that was good.
Yeah, she's no longer possessed.
No. I didn't like this.
I absolutely hated this.
Can't stand Casey and Caden. No one could act here at all. It wasn't good.
I like Persia and Indy, but
Yeah.
I don't think I like Casey and Caden still. I still am not.
No, I really don't.
Them talking about their two-stepping and their New Year's Eve.
It's just so annoying.
They're
Always
so
talking
unlikable.
about just
so
raves
unlikable.
and country fairs and
I like going to concerts. All the gimmicks here are really just hitting you over the head. What's their gimmick? I don't know. They like going to concerts.
It was a shame because so far the show's been pretty good.
Yeah.
We had a really hot opener,
I needed something
AJ
to have fun
Styles,
at, yeah.
and then it was like, oh god, this is 2.0, isn't it?
Yeah, we get Daddy's Girl, we get Pajamas Girl, we get the party people. Do you think Casey and Caden had a good New Year's?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
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 Probably on the same stuff Tony Khan was on.
He was taking a 2-step. We go to our next match, which is the whole time this promo was happening, I forgot to mention the entrances for this match already happened. So we got fucking Walter probably having to watch this segment on TV. Because Walter's here.
That's what if you were at the CWC, I'd want to see a video of Imperium
watching this promo.
Casey and Caden.
And they're probably like, what the fuck? Yeah. Oh, man. I know how Casey and Caden were going to concerts with Briggs and Jensen. They went to the country concert with Briggs and Jensen. They got to go with Imperium to the opera.
Yes. That'd be nice.
Like a classical
ballet
concert. Yeah, something fancy
Yeah.
and classy. And they're like, whoa, we're just trying to 2-step. What are you doing? And they're like, no, you gotta be classy. That should be it. They class them up.
A bit of My Fair Lady.
Like, stop going to the raves and
Walter teaches.
Stop doing the dirty
Casey
drugs.
And Caden how to be ladies.
Yeah.
Take them to the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. Get Richard Gere in here to help out. I don't know why, but I thinking you're like Pretty Woman. I think we're going way too far off here now. But you catch them like they take them out to a different kind of concert, and they realize there's different.
No, I want to see this. I'm into these two now.
Because Walter
right then you made me into these two.
Walter and Imperium make their entrance, and then it plays. It comes back, and then it plays this. So they had to be in the ring when this was airing.
They did this on Raw the other day, where there were like 2 commercial breaks or something after someone's entrance. It was just, it's very odd. It's something they've started doing in the last year, where you just have an entrance and then just standing around like a lemon.
Walter was just so mad. That's why he was so mad in this match, because he had to stand.
That's why he lost. He had to watch this shit.
Just watching this. So Imperium, Barcel, I forget his name already.
2019 again.
Marcel
Bartel.
Bartel and Fabian Eichner and Walter going up against MSK and their shaman, Riddle.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last time he was in NXT, he had a first name.
He did. They
Matt
said it
Riddle.
was, did they say March 2020? I think he was last there.
That was the
something
last
like
time he was here. Yeah, so MSK have their DJ who mix the MSK theme into the Riddle theme. And then they all do their jumping entrance. They have scooters too now.
Yeah.
As well. And they all kind of have matching gear. It does look like the Jeff Hardy colors on MSK.
I guess they're like pinky, purpley,
Yeah.
green. But yeah, more kind of Riddle style shorts. Like Nash Carter normally wears like long tights, doesn't he? So he's
Yeah.
in the shorts here. They look good.
They all had the
I
shorts.
like matching gear for a team.
Yeah, true. We get starts off Nash Carter and Bartel, who are going back and forth, and Nash gets the best of him with this flying Rana. So Eichner tags in, and then he gets a Rana for his troubles as well here. But then Wes is tagged in, and he is going up against Eichner, and he's doing some kind of flying around when Eichner gets pissed off and eventually clotheslines him just inside out. A full rotation here. Looked great and stiff. Finally, though, he tags Riddle in, who tags and Riddle's in and gets to go face-to-face with Walter, who then they start having a little bit of a strike exchange here briefly with Walter chopping Riddle down. And then he tags Fabian back in, who's doing all sorts of stuff. There's Wes, who's doing roundhouse kicks. Carter's flying around. Walter chops Nash Carter just into oblivion and then catches Wes Lee, places him on the corner. We've seen Walter do this, and then chop him. But he chopped him so hard that he turns him upside down. Walter then holds him there in the Tree of Woe when Imperium do their running double drop kick thing. This spot was awesome.
Yeah, so good.
Like, what? You chopped him so hard, this dude flipped upside down.
We don't often see Walter, like, obviously Imperium's a team, but we rarely see them all team together. And it was kind of nice seeing them do these sort of triple team moves as well.
Yeah.
And then Imperium also in new gear with their kind of flags on the side and all their names on the back.
they look fresh.
Really good.
They go to commercial break when Nash Carter, during picture-in-picture, is getting beat down while I'm watching a commercial for Austin Gunn from the Gun Club.
Yeah, there's this,
Reality show?
yeah, celebrity kids, like celebrities, their children, and they have to go and work on a ranch or something like that.
The Gun
So
Club.
like Shaquille O'Neal's kid is on it.
What?
And yeah.
Holy shit.
So I think it's like famous, like spoilt children who now have to work.
Damn.
And we'll make a reality show out of it.
So Austin Gunn made his NXT debut here tonight.
He did, yeah.
Sort of weird. When we come back, Nash finally goes to make the tag, but Imperium both pull Riddle and Wes off the apron, so he can't tag in. And Walter just continues to dominate him. Does one of the sits down on him, like Earthquake or Andre the Giant, where you just sit on the guy's chest. It's gotta hurt. Riddle finally comes in and he starts kicking the shit out of Walter with all these roundhouse kicks to the chest and to the head, and then hits him with a senton, and then more kicks to Imperium. He then sets Imperium up, meaning Eichner and Bartel, and does the Randy DDT.
Yes.
The Randy Orton draping DDT. He does a PK off the apron to Walter, and then this is when MSK and Riddle, all at the same time in stereo, they do double tope suicidas while Riddle hits the floating bro, all in unison, taking out all of Imperium on the outside. This looked pretty great. Back in the ring, though, Walter gains control of Riddle and hits him with a powerbomb. We've seen him win matches with this, but Riddle kicks out of that. I loved this spot. The crowd bit, as did I. There's then the spot where he tags Imperium back in, and Walter's kind of really living up to the ring general thing. He's yelling at them what to do. Hey, now you do this and take control. This is where Bartel throws Riddle and Eichner catches him with that catch suplex.
We've seen this so many times. Every time it blows my mind. This guy's strength.
Yeah, one of the best spots in wrestling.
Yeah.
Honestly, how do you catch... Riddle's bigger than him, and he catches him,
upside
finds
down,
his footing in midair, and then hits a brainbuster on this guy. MSK break up the pin here, but then it's all chaos. Everyone's fighting everyone. Eventually, they send Walter and Bartel to the outside. MSK hit the blockbuster combo on Fabian. Bartel goes to break it up, but Riddle hits Bartel with the Riddle KO.
They did the blockbuster into the floating
Oh,
bro
into the
as
floating
well.
bro,
And
right.
then a beautiful RKO.
RKO from Riddle to Bartel for the 1-2-3. MSK and the Shaman win.
This lived up to expectations for me. I was really excited when they announced this, and then was worried just by the formatting we've had of NXT 2.0, where maybe we won't get enough time on this. Every match on the show got time this week, and I found this so enjoyable. Anytime Riddle was in there with Walter, you felt the crowd really eat it up. This felt like an old kind of NXT style match, just non-stop. Imperium have been great. It's awesome having Walter overseas, hopefully a bit more permanently this time. All the kind of teaming stuff that MSK and Riddle managed to do, I thought worked really nicely, and the Randy spots always make me laugh with Riddle.
Yeah, no, Walter is looking jacked. Like he's trimmed down. He's looking just a bit more cut, and this is the beginning of 2022. He's gonna look even more cut by halfway through this year. So at the rate he's going, man, I would love to see him be a prominent character. I don't think he would be a character here. I think main roster's the spot, I guess, for him. If they're gonna change the way things are on the main roster, he would be a great guy to put,
Randy Walter.
Randy
Mania.
versus Walter. Randy would make Walter look small.
Yeah.
Randy's big.
He is quite big, yeah.
Walter AJ Styles, Walter, who else? Big E, Brock, Kevin Owens.
I think, so you don't see him doing an
Look,
NXT run.
Look, I would love to, but look, things are not quite the same. So this is kind of just them dangling this, like almost like a treat, having Walter here.
As we were watching this, you were wondering if there's going to be any kind of breakup, because Walter was kind of yelling orders, and it kind of led to their loss in a way, didn't it?
So he could leave, not be with Imperium anymore. But I don't know. I feel like he's fine with them.
I think they work better together.
Yeah.
But no, I really love this. And if you're someone that still listens to us but has checked out of NXT since the kind of rebrand, try and watch this. I really enjoyed this match.
It was great. I mean, I always love Walter's work. I think he's one of the best in this like generation. Honestly, he's just great. Again, he's a treat to watch. It would be a shame for his talents to not be used. Like he where does he go? Was he feud with Braun Breaker and Ciampa and stuff here? Like, I don't know. But he's looking great.
We've seen Walter Ciampa, haven't we?
Yeah.
They did that. Yeah, maybe Breaker.
And Riddle, the Shaman, winning it for MSK.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, I've enjoyed this Shaman bro stuff. It feels like a bit of a genie. Like he's just popping in and now he's going to disappear.
He's going to float away. He's the floating bro.
You're in a better place now.
Yeah. Speaking of a better place, Joe Gacy is backstage with Harland. He's being interviewed. And he says that, since last week, Harland has been working on a few things. Is that because Harland tried to throw someone off the roof?
Yeah, Blonde Bo.
Blonde Bo almost got thrown off the roof?
Threw him off the roof.
Damn. He says there's got to be ramifications for the way people have treated him in the past. And he's made some good strides and some efforts. But we are announcing that we are a brand new tag team. And, we don't want to be automatically entered into the Dusty Classic. We have to prove. We don't want privilege like an established tag team. We will have to prove to the... Does he say the tag team committee?
Maybe.
I didn't know there was a tag team committee, but we're going to prove we're a viable tag team, and that starts next week. So, damn. The tag team committee. He is being like one of these woke people who are like, oh, I'm going to have to check with the committee on this one.
So yeah, I wasn't really expecting to see these as a tag team, but I guess it makes sense. An enter the Dusty Classic.
They'll be
I see
eliminated.
them being disqualified.
Disqualified because Harland goes off.
Rip someone's head off or something.
Yeah. So what happened with Brian Kendrick? He just didn't do the match? We assume.
Yeah, I mean we don't know why.
Yeah.
A lot of people were off last week's show.
Okay.
So I guess we'll just move on from that, which is a shame because I kind of wanted to see.
No, he's gonna return and attack Harland and
being attacked. Maybe who could he partner?
Paul London.
Is he
Paul
doing
London
anything?
come
Paul
in
London and Kendrick.
and fight Joe Gacy and Harland.
Yeah.
Dream match.
Why not?
Yeah. They don't have much to run though in NXT. The ramp is really small. Their entrances where they
Right.
That'd be great. I think we could see Harlan versus Kendrick still.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Just they didn't really mention Kendrick much at
True.
all to make me think. I think they might just quietly move on.
We cut to a helicopter. That's right.
Oh yeah.
A helicopter flying above Florida somewhere, and it shows Mandy Rose. For a second, I thought she was supposed to be flying this thing.
Then I was worried because she's like looking out the window.
She's like,
she's
"Hey,
looking at her title.
I'm the champ," and it's
Eye
like,
on the
"Whoa,
sky, Mandy."
whoa!" Look where you're going with this thing. But no, she had a driver.
Yeah.
She had a driver. She lands, and she's dressed as a devil.
What? A lot of money to spend on this entrance.
What do you mean? It's just a helicopter. It gave me WrestleMania 35 with Charlotte. Ric
absolutely.
Flair obviously used to do this, but just so funny that she gets a helicopter for no real reason here.
Well, everyone had a vehicle for this.
Everyone
match.
had a vehicle for this next match. This is true. But Mandy gets out of the helicopter dressed like this devil costume, and she's New Year's evil.
Love it.
Evil. And that match is next. But we go to a commercial break. When we come back, Elektra Lopez is being interviewed, and she says that everyone's been saying different things about her and Zion Quinn and Santos Escobar and Legado, and I want everyone to know that I joined Legado because I make no apology. They're one of the best, the groups of groups in wrestling. But it's going to settle some scores next week because Santos versus Zion is next week, one-on-one, and the winner of that match leaves with me. Wow, says the commentary. Wow. So she's going to pick her sides with the winning man.
Where do you see it going?
Zion Quinn, I guess.
I think Zion wins, and then he's like, nah. And just blows her off.
Jeez.
Like, nah.
I don't need you.
I don't want you. What do you mean I get you by winning a match? Fuck off.
Wow. Damn. I like Elektra Lopez's blazers.
Yeah.
Very Miami
great,
Vice.
yeah.
It's time for the women's title match. We mentioned Mandy Rose, the champ, showed up in a helicopter. So Cora Jade shows up on a skateboard.
On a skateboard, yeah.
But Raquel Gonzalez, who's also in this match, shows up on her motorcycle.
Who do you think's better? Raquel at riding a motorcycle or Cora riding a skateboard?
Wow.
The problem is with the CWC is small, right?
Yeah.
So when Raquel comes out with the bike, it's almost like she's parking because she's just walking it either side. Where you think Undertaker just bombing down,
he would fly.
It's too small to really bomb it down. So she's just awkwardly walking it, and it's like those kids plastic bikes that don't even have the pedals that you just sit on and walk. It's like that. Just the idea is pretty cool, and we've seen her riding out of Full Sail or whatever on the bike, and that works. But coming to the ring, it just looked a bit daft. And then you have Cora hugging her skateboard.
Her little tiny. It's not even a skateboard. It's like one of those.
And Mandy can't fly the helicopter either. They're all useless.
Yeah. Again, I'm not making fun of Raquel's motorcycle because who am I? I do not own a motorcycle. It's just not my lifestyle. But her motorcycle didn't look that cool.
It was I don't know. The motorcycle looked alright. It
was
a big one.
It didn't
she's
look
not
cool.
riding it.
No,
it just looks weird.
Undertaker used to come out on some choppers, some fucking
Harleys
badass looking things. Coming out on your Sunday drive motorcycle, nah, didn't look.
Try and see this thing again.
I
remember it being big, wasn't it? Like matte
it looked
black
clunky.
Or something?
Yeah, it didn't look like a cool motorcycle. It looked clunky. It looked like you're actually it's like an old Hogs, like the movie. I'm not judging her. This is probably just her actual motorcycle, and here I am being a dick, just making fun. I don't even own a motorcycle, so who am I to judge? I take the train, so I should stop talking about it.
There's some good pictures on Google Images
of motorcycles. Okay, nice.
Let's move on.
So triple threat: Mandy Rose, Raquel Gonzalez, Cora Jade, and the battle of the vehicles. It starts off with Cora flying around. She does a satellite to Mandy, sending her down. Almost hits a Rana, and then Mandy does the roll afterwards.
Yeah.
There's then Cora who gets caught in a satellite attempt, into like a sidewalk slam from Raquel for a near fall. Raquel and Mandy are fighting on the outside when Cora does a tope con like off the apron to Raquel, taking her out. Raquel in the ring gets Mandy up on her shoulders and then gets Cora on top of her as well. So she's carrying both women and then does like the fall away slam kind of
like a Samoan drop.
Combo kind of thing, which looked pretty cool. They go to commercial break. When we come back, it looks like Mandy has the kendo stick, but it's taken away. And she gets smacked with it, and she's yelling like, "Whoa, not in the face, not in my face, please stop." It's a triple threat, so no DQ, of course. There's then Jade, who hits a Hurricane Rana to Mandy, another one to Raquel, but it's only a near fall. Gonzalez hits some sort of backbreaker on Jade for a 2 count. Raquel then throws Jade to the outside and starts going on the attack on Rose because she realizes she's got her where she wants her. But Rose tricks her and hits her with this like code breaker type move for a near fall. Raquel fights back and hits the Chingona bomb, but as she goes to pin Mandy, Jade is back and hits the senton off the top to break it up. She then dumps Raquel to the outside, but as she goes for what looks like a Hurricane Rana or some pinning attempt, Mandy counters it.
She goes for the roll-up that she's been winning with.
And Mandy counters the schoolboy roll-up here and turns it into her own sort of pinning attempt. And 1, 2, 3, Mandy pins Jade to retain the women's title. The finish was a little weird, and it even looked weird on the replay. It's as if she counters it with this arm twist thing and then sits down on Jade, who's like kind of, I guess, shocked that the move was countered. The issue is it didn't look like Cora Jade was anywhere near the mat.
The shoulders were really up.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, okay. I didn't like hate this match by any means, but it was clunky.
I thought it was a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
I think whenever you hear like wrestlers being interviewed and stuff, these multi-person matches are not easy to do, and perhaps here with like a little bit like lack of experience from a couple, like it did feel a bit of waiting around for my spot and that kind of thing. I hated the whole Mandy running away thing, because it wasn't like she was sitting out of the whole match, which we've seen heels do where they just let the other two go at it. She was like doing stuff, and then halfway through she decided she was scared and didn't want to, and it just all got very acty. It got very the overproduced Shawn Michaels NXT style, where they're really spelling out everything in the story, and it just it kind of fell apart for me.
I could see Raquel and Mandy yelling their spots a lot.
Yeah,
like they're yelling at each other, like, "Hey, hold the ropes, okay, ready?" I'm like, "Wait, what? Why do I hear?"
And it's just
nitpicking.
it just went on this for a long time. This whole Mandy running off thing. I think Cora's selling is really good. I think that's her big strength in these matches, and I do think she is connecting with this crowd. They seem to be into her, and it wouldn't have surprised me if they actually went with the kind of fluke win again with her, making her the youngest champion. But yeah, as a match, I thought this was the low point of the show.
Yeah, it just felt like it had really messy parts, kind of.
It was
throughout
messy.
it. I kind of wanted Mandy to retain to continue the story, and Cora should be champion, and maybe take it from her down the line.
So from last week, it looks like Io kind of set herself up to be the next challenger. Io and Kaylee Ray are both kind of wanting to challenge.
Another triple threat.
Another triple threat, but could see one of them go for it next.
Yeah, Io all the way. In another world. Where does Io should just go to the main roster at this point?
Yeah, like, do you see Raquel moving up now?
Yeah, Raquel should move up as well.
Dakota Kai, we haven't seen since her match with Raquel. Like, is she going up? There's a few people now who you're like wondering what is left for NXT here.
Can't wait for them to all be on the main roster and have 2-minute matches every week.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't wait. We go to Boa, a video vignette where he's washing his face in the sink and then looking at himself in the mirror, and then it's cutting between him with the face paint and without the face paint, being the possessed or non-possessed Boa.
So last week he attacked, who was it? Solo Sikoa in the face paint, And then when the camera went back to him, he had no face paint, and he was like, "What have I done?"
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So he's
Poor Boa. It's terrible. All of this
he's-
Boa stuff.
when he's just washing the face paint away, looking in the mirror, and then he says, "Please, these powers are uncontrollable. I cannot contain them. Let me face Solo by myself." And then it cuts to the creature. It finally separates. There's two of him now. One with the face paint and one without.
It reminds me there was a show, like a drama in the UK called Murder in Mind, and each week it was a different like story, but it was always from the murderer's point of view.
Okay.
There was one of this girl whose like husband or boyfriend and best friend were murdered, and it turned out that she kind of subconsciously knew they were having an affair and would sleepwalk, and in her sleep she'd like murder people. I feel that's Boa here. He's like all normal, and then he will just like sleepwalk and put face paint on and beat up Solo Sikoa. Then he wakes up, he's like, "Fuck, what happened today?"
That sounds like
Why have I got this face paint
yeah.
on?
Wait, is that like just he's having a really bad night or a good
Terrible
night?
sleepwalks, yeah.
It's really. It's like, is that why Warhorse is a thing? Anyone wearing face paint and he
They're just
wrestling?
sleepwalking.
Yeah, that's how they get it on.
Get really confused.
Yeah, this is so funny and so bad.
Yeah.
Poor Boa.
Yeah.
He's got
I mean, he's on TV every week.
Yeah, but he's not. He doesn't. It's not good.
Hey, who knows? Maybe by the end of 2022, most improved could be Boa.
So he's possessed by the ghost of Mei Ying.
Mei Ying, who's now Wendy Chu.
She's
calling
woke.
people ham sandwiches.
Now she's woke too. Why isn't she joined Gacy?
No, she's asleep.
But he's like, yo, you're always sleeping. Trust me. You can be with me. Woken Joe Gacy. Boa's going to face Solo Sikoa next week.
Yes.
And he's not going to have the face paint.
Face paint on a pole match.
He should beat Solo Sikoa. Not going to happen. But then put face paint on him. Like, you're going to join me now. You're possessed.
Everyone's possessed.
I don't know.
I just want this Mei Ying gimmick. See how long it can be passed down to other people.
Fuck.
Like Boa moves up, and now Andre Chase is Mei Ying. Then he leaves, and he gives it to Casey Catanzaro, and she's Mei Ying, and then she leaves and gives it to Bron. I don't know.
Possession's like
Von Wagner.
Like the Omicron
Yeah.
being passed around real
Yeah.
quickly. I feel like if it was a gimmick where it gets passed on, is it like the movie It Follows?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. You pass it on to someone.
Mm.
If he's
got to vape it in someone's face, and then they're Mei Ying.
gonna get Julia Hart
Yeah.
get vaped in the face. Yeah, he hasn't
Big
been
Joseph
vaping.
has it one week.
Big Joseph gets possessed by Mei Ying.
Yeah.
Yeah. He starts like trash talking Wade a bit more. Like,
Yeah.
he gets mouthy.
Gets a bit more of
He
an
becomes
attitude.
he becomes like emo Peter Parker. He gets possessed by Mei Ying. Yeah, great. So can't wait for that match. MSK and Riddle are in the parking lot with their scooters, which is pretty funny. MSK say, "Hey, thank you so much for being our shaman and for helping us get that
filling
W."
in for Jeff.
Yeah,
Last minute.
for winning this match. Riddle says, "You're going to your destiny again, and your destiny is championships again. You're going to win the Dusty Cup, and you're going to be 2-time NXT Tag Champs. This is a goodbye, not forever, but a goodbye for now, bro." And then he rides off on his scooter, and MSK are like, "Whoa, he's so cool, so wise."
I almost felt like he needed to go through a Doctor Strange portal to
needs
just
to go
go back to Raw, go back to the other universe.
You need to go into some smoke.
Yeah.
Just off into the cloud of smoke. They turn around and the Creed brothers are there, and they say, "You're not going to win the Dusty Cup. You're not going to win the titles back. None of that's going to happen because we are going to win, and we are the Brothers Creed." So this kind of setting up, I think, what could potentially be the finals of this Dusty Classic.
Creed MSK.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Down for that.
Yeah, both teams will advance, and I think that will be the final. But yeah, Riddle just drifting away. You think he'll be back?
I'd like down the line
Yeah.
him to be back. Like when they eventually get their big title match or Dusty Cup final or something, be in the corner or
It's crazy. I didn't even think, but MSK are getting cheered again.
It worked. I think having them off TV for quite a while, or at least not in the arena.
Yeah.
The Riddle connection. But yeah, they were fan favorites this week. Didn't hear any boos for them.
Izzy's parents were away.
They've been kicked out, hopefully.
We go to Andre Chase. He's in the ring. He says he
Killing
had
time for the main event.
yeah. He says last week was a teachable moment and I was in some deep trouble, but one of my students risked life and limb to protect me. And that's the bond that we have between student body and faculty at Chase University. He says, I'm thankful Harlan didn't throw him off the building. And he's got like this like Chase University crowd group in the crowd now with like some of his sweaters and stuff like that. He says if Harlan threw him off the building, that would be terrible for enrollment. And I have to recognize this student, and I'm going to give him a full scholarship. And it kind of shows the one guy in the crowd, Griff Garrison, looking kind of...
Yeah, it's cross of Griff and Bo, isn't it?
It's blonde Bo Dallas.
Yeah.
This guy. And he's so excited that he got this full scholarship. And he's so excited, but they're interrupted. The music hits.
Von Wagner. Great theme.
It wouldn't be a Tuesday without Von Wagner.
It's come Tuesday.
Come Tuesday, yeah. So he comes out. He says, I hear the boos and all the negative comments, but when I'm in the ring, I'm your new favorite wrestler. Someone must have sent him a early copy of
Advanced screening.
Best and worst of shows from Post Wrestling.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I can't talk about Von Wagner enough. He says, but everyone tunes in to the Von Wagner watch party. And we're all going to see who I'm about to tune out. Yeah, you got him, Von. Got him. He beats up Andre Chase. He hits him with an angle slam. And then the one student is really late to trying to help Andre Chase. When Von pulls him and starts beating up on him in the crowd, there's all these plants, and Von tries to just fight everybody.
Yeah, he's killing these fans. He's dragging them over the plexiglass and beating them up.
So the security pull him apart, and we later see he's been escorted out, and he walks by the doctor's room, and Roddy's laying there, and he's like, yeah, you're a loser, Roddy. And then Ivy Nile stares him down, and he's like, what are you going to do, girl? And
so we're getting Ivy Nile versus Von Wagner.
Next Tuesday,
yeah. Yeah, well, at least I was going to ask earlier, with Roddy losing the title, what's next for him? So at least he's got some sort of program here to lose against Von. Andre Chase, obviously it helps him having his students in the crowd, but it seems people are kind of, at least the CWC, seem to be enjoying his shtick and kind of chanting along with his teachable moment, and he seems to be leaning a bit more babyface jobber now. But this did all kind of feel like we're just kind of killing time.
Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't really understand. Is he trying to be he's a bad dean? He made the joke he didn't care if the guy got hurt. He just cares about his enrollment. Yeah. And it's how many legs does this have actually?
I mean, he's just a butt of the joke. Every week he's only out there to get beaten.
He's
up
jobber
by
to the
someone
stars.
Else.
Yeah,
he's Heath Slater.
Yeah, he's exactly that.
But yeah, Von Wagner just going around killing people.
Well, we gotta get Blonde Bo versus Von.
But I'd assume Roddy's the big... I don't know if we will see that, because I can't really see us having a match between these two.
Yeah.
I think this is it. So I think we're going for Roddy and Von. Just seems weird.
The wrestling will be good. Both do angle slams.
Yeah, this is true.
So, that'll be all right.
Yeah.
Come Tuesday. Next week, maybe.
Ivy Nile can interfere with the chain.
I would like that match.
Ivy Nile and Von Wagner. Yeah. I'm down for that.
Yeah. You think Ivy Nile cuts a better promo than Von Wagner?
Have we heard her speak? I'm trying to think.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't
Yes.
matter. Yeah. Yeah, true.
Rhetorical question. I liked his shirt though.
Von Wagner?
Yeah,
What
it was flashy for him.
What do you think of the beard?
Yeah. Bad guy. It's fine. It's fine. Just.
I think we get weird enjoyment from this guy.
Yeah, like part of me I can't shit on this guy because he's not good at talking, but I still like his wrestling. But I don't. I get a weird. I do. I get a sick, twisted enjoyment watching this guy speak.
Yeah.
Come Tuesday.
Just looking at pictures of Von Wagner now.
But he looked. You know that video where it's the kid? You ever had a dream?
Yeah.
Right? And it takes like 15 seconds before he even can like spit out the sentence. That was Vaughn talking here when he's like, "I'm gonna tune you out." It's like, oh.
Yeah, he should have just come out and beaten him up.
Yeah, you didn't need to talk. You just needed to come out and beat him up. You let the other guy do the talking. Yeah. Well, we go to a video package for Cameron Grimes. And he says this year was wild in 2021. He had a spaceship coupe. He had a butler suit. He had the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. And he was cutting grass, and now he's kicking ass. He had the $1 million title, but that's Ted's legacy. So maybe I should have a legacy of my own. He says maybe in 2022, Cameron Grimes should stop chasing green and start chasing gold. 2022, the moon.
Love it.
His new catchphrase.
Yes.
Great catchphrase.
It's got a whole year he can get out of it.
Yeah.
Until 2032, and then he can do it all again.
Yeah, so I think he's gonna challenge Carmelo Hayes.
I think that makes most sense. I can't really see him going for the main title at this point, but North American would be good for him. And I think that match should be really good, him and Melo.
Yeah, I like Cameron Grimes. I don't know where he goes.
I hope we get a bit of more of a serious feud out of it though, rather than nonsense backstage with him and Trick, like all these video segments, which I think Cameron Grimes is good at, but I'd like to see a bit of a more serious turn from him this year.
Yeah, they're kind of going that way. I guess he looks more plain Jane now. He looks like just a guy now with his haircut.
The hair.
And maybe his outfits are not like, he's rich. He could still focus on that.
Yeah.
We got a tweet from friend of the show, MJ from NJ, who says,
okay.
He says that Cameron Grimes should go for like a cryptocurrency title or something along the lines of.
We've had all that though. Like we've just done the $1 million title thing. Like we want to see this guy move up the card, don't we?
Yeah.
Not just do like float around doing silly gimmicky things.
I would like to see more of the wrestling. Like Trevor Lee before Cameron Grimes was a good wrestler, and now I think he's kind of picked the character. I don't know where a character like this can go, but I don't think he beats Carmelo Hayes for the title. So then it's just like, where does he go? But a series of matches between those two sounds pretty good. We get announcements we already mentioned for next week. AJ Styles, Grayson Waller, the crowbar on a pole match, Solo Sikoa versus Boa.
Oh yeah,
and Santos versus Zion Quinn
with Elektra Lopez on a pole for this one, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So a lot
stacked card next week.
Can't wait.
I'm looking forward to AJ and Grayson. I think Pete Dunne and D'Angelo had a really good first match, so be looking forward to see that again. The rest doesn't quite interest me as much, but if we can get 2 good matches next week, that's all right.
We go to our main event, and it's no commercials, commercial free for the next 15 minutes here.
Yeah.
NXT Championship on the line. The champion Tommaso Ciampa going up against Bron Breakker. And Braun's got some new gear. It's not just all colors. It's like black singlet with Breakker on the front.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I like how it looks more serious than just melted crayons.
Oh, I like his colourful singlet.
I do,
think
but
it separates him. This looked very generic.
I think the black, maybe it makes him look a bit more badass, but just having Breakker, it's better than just his t-shirt. But I do like his color stuff too. But maybe this is his like more serious big match, kind of New Year's Evil. I don't know, dark black and red.
It looked really generic. It looked like
his other
name
one
just very stitched on the front of a black singlet.
His other one is like literally just colors. So
yeah, it was great.
All of them
separated him from everyone, I thought.
I don't know. I thought he looked okay, but I know what you mean because it just literally is black with Breaker.
It looked like you made this guy on 2K very quickly.
Yeah. Ciampa goes after him right away, but gets caught with Bron kind of throwing him around.
Ciampa's in 2.0 colors as well.
Black and gold.
No, he's in colors.
Oh, he's in colors
Yeah.
now. Oh, okay.
And Breaker, with his entrance, he had another go at breaking the chain, which he couldn't break at War Games. There were like these giant chains he broke, and then it was the old black and gold X.
The X there.
That he broke in half as well, just proving that
You know
Bron
what's going to
can break
happen.
things.
He can break things, and it's signaling that this could be the last of 2.0.
No, of black and gold.
Of black and gold. Fuck, there's too many fucking things.
No, there's black and gold in colors.
Braun Breaker breaks things. He has Tommaso in a gator roll here, which looked pretty impressive. He's like rolling around and
Yeah, this was, they were
overpowering him.
doing like the drop down leapfrog stuff, and Breaker just caught him with this gator roll going right into this delayed vertical. Looked really, really good.
Yeah, delayed vertical, stalling suplex, kind of walking around the ring and then suplexing him, and then picks him up and does another one here, just kind of showing the power. Ciampa fights back with a series of strikes and then a drop kick leveling him here. Braun runs at him with a shoulder block, but Ciampa ducks, so he just like misses and falls onto the mat. Ciampa comes back, sending Braun to the outside. Ciampa hits a twisting corkscrew plancha onto Breaker on the outside, which looks great, and Wade is losing his mind. Like, whoa, Ciampa doesn't always pull that one out. There's then Ciampa who puts Braun into, it's like a tree of woe here in the drop kick. Oh, and the spot that Braun doesn't lately, we've seen him do, where he catches you. It's like the Steiner power slam. It's like he catches you going one way and catches you and spins the other way. He hits this, but it's almost like a powerbomb version of the move on Ciampa, which looked pretty cool, but it's only a near fall. I mentioned the Tree of Woe upside down.
Yeah, he went for the
drop kick.
Frankensteiner, and Ciampa
Yeah.
knocked him off.
There's then a spine buster from Braun, kind of like Triple H style there, even almost a little bit of the pose off there. And then a standing moonsault from Braun Breaker, which was impressive, but Ciampa kicks out. Ciampa somehow has got this like cut above his eye.
Yeah, need to look back. I didn't really see when this happened, but Ciampa was bleeding pretty badly.
Yeah, Ciampa has the offense. He's swinging away, but Braun runs at him with a spear out of desperation. But again, Ciampa kicked out. Looked great. There's then the lift up into the pop-up power slam, the finish from Breaker, but it's countered, and I don't know how Ciampa did this, but he counters this into the Willow's Bell.
This was awesome. Yeah, he kind of just rolled into the ropes, and it was so smooth. Looked great.
Honestly,
I thought that this
yeah.
was it as well. We had a bit of an overrun, and this was at about like 9:58 or something like that. So I was like, oh, is this it? Is this the finish?
Yeah, it looked fantastic. I don't know how someone can swing him all the way through the ropes and then hit this move. But Breaker kicked out of it, so Ciampa doesn't know what to do. They're fighting on the outside, and Braun hits him with an Alabama slam through the announce table, but like right on the edge of it, and it shatters it. This looked cool.
Yeah, the like protective thing hadn't been taken off or anything. It just looked great.
He gets Ciampa back in the ring. He hits that pop-up power slam. He hits it on Ciampa. We've seen him win matches with this, but Ciampa grabs the rope, therefore breaking the count. When they're going back to their feet, trading blows, Ciampa hits him with the fairy tale ending, but Breaker also kicks out of that. They're fighting in the top turnbuckle, and Ciampa gets a boot, sends him in the middle of the ring, and off the top, Breaker hits the flying bulldog, just like his dad, right? The flying bulldog. He looked great. He then puts Ciampa in the Steiner recliner, the camel clutch, makes him humble, and Ciampa taps out, and we have a new NXT World Champion, Braun Breaker, in just 14 career matches.
Like, this guy's great. I think this is his 14th match. Like, I get it. I get why you would go with him and strap him here. I think this guy just has got it. He's great on the mic. He's got a presence about him. The crowd are buying into him as well. And this was a really good match with Ciampa, I thought. I preferred this to their first one.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I really liked how they were doing callbacks to the first one as well. They kept on saying about him making that mistake from when he fell off the second rope. And he kept on going for that move, but I don't think he ever...
The Bulldog.
The Bulldog, eventually he hit it towards the end. So I liked the callbacks to that. I liked the desperation from Ciampa towards the end of the match where he kind of realized he was in peril and he's just holding onto the bottom rope to try and get a bit of a breather. I thought Ciampa was great in this. Really good stuff. I really enjoyed this main event, and I'm really interested to see where Bron goes next.
Yeah, so new champion. Black and gold is real dead. Real dead. The last remainder of it.
Yeah, Ciampa tweeted out, "Thank you," with a black and a gold heart and a black and white picture of him walking away from the ring. So, don't know if we're to read into that.
Ciampa is all elite confirmed. No, no. I actually really enjoyed this match. I think Breaker is good. If that's 14 matches, like, good for you, because he's definitely looking the part. Like, I think take away him walking around with a t-shirt with just his face on it with the colors. Like, he looks like a bad dude. I was joking about Raquel Gonzalez riding motorcycles, and I was kind of shitting on her motorcycle. I think this guy rides real motorcycles. They're just from looking at him. Like, I think he looks the part of this main guy, and I think he'll be NXT champ for a few months, and then he's main roster bound pretty quickly. If this is the new direction of NXT 2.0, to make it actually the developmental, where every 6 months it's a new kind of class or crop, or every year people come in and out, I could see this guy being the first main. Oh, they already pulled the trigger with him here tonight, but we knew that he was going to be beating champ.
But I'm not sour about it.
No.
I think it is the right move.
Yeah, for sure.
I am curious, like, does Ciampa move on to the main roster? Does Ciampa maybe call it a day from here and move maybe into a coaching role or something? I don't know. I'm just thinking that tweet kind of signals that maybe he's done with NXT.
Yeah, and that would be fine. I would like to see him wrestle people on the main roster. Randy Orton.
Rumble debut?
Rumble, why not? With Johnny Knoxville?
Yeah.
Throw him out of the Rumble?
Yeah, set up a Mania match between the two.
Honestly, Ciampa's still so good. So anytime people are like, oh, he'll just be a trainer, it's like, but why?
Well, it's more you don't know his body, right?
Sure.
Like his neck and stuff.
I'll tell you what I know. I know his body. He's jacked.
He is
Look
jacked.
at him. He's a god.
But yeah, this for me was the best episode of 2.0 by a mile.
Easily.
I thoroughly enjoyed tonight's show. The women's match didn't quite deliver for me, but the other three matches I thought were really, really strong. And it was nice to see matches getting time. Like, I think everything here was at least like 13 minutes. Like, most had sort of a good 15-minute match, which is good, like, for TV. I want to see much more of this down the line. Not your 8-9 matches in an episode with just 2 minutes for each one.
Yeah.
I felt they built to most of these matches pretty well over the last few weeks. I hope they can keep this up. And sort of we've established our new crop of talent that we're going to focus on more every week now. We're getting a bit more used to them. We've had a lot less of the vignettes, like the stupid vignettes over the last few weeks. Okay, we had the women thing today in the back, but wasn't as much making me angry this week. So
I think it's because this was a special. Like, this is a week, one they built up a few weeks to. Treated it almost like a takeover or something like that, like the commercial-free main event and title matches and kind of big matches. It had the most time since NXT 2.0. Like, all the matches felt like they had significant time, considering these other episodes we've watched as of late, where it's like you said, 8 2-minute matches and one main event that's maybe 8 minutes or whatever. It's like it's that
with
formula.
a commercial in the middle,
and they're gonna go back to that next week. Look at the lineup next week. It's gonna be just that. It's gonna be all that, and then AJ Styles in a main event, which is cool. But it's like, I think these specials, if they continue doing this, then the show will continue to maybe stay and
every
continue.
5-6 weeks do one of these, you know, that kind of thing.
Maybe, but this is easily the best 2.0 it did feel like one of those older specials. Even past few years when they did like the Halloween Havocs or the Great American Bash TV ones, that's what it felt like. So good job from them. I am sad to see Ciampa lose the title, but we could see that coming from so long ago.
Yeah. There's photos going around of him like shaking Rick Steiner's hand. Who's
yes,
in the crowd
Rick Steiner was here. That's crazy. Rick Steiner and Bron then shared the ring and celebrated with the title, which is awesome. Just call him Rick Steiner. Can we sort this out? Just call him, what is his name? Rex Steiner?
Yeah.
Man, don't understand the Braun Breaker name.
I think isn't he Bronson Rex Steiner?
Yeah.
I think, something like that.
Still. No, we'll just get him to.
I'm over it. I'm used to.
We'll get him to break things. I still think it's a dumb name. I can get over
it's
it.
wrestling. Like
I think it's got to be up there. I can't think of someone in the WWE with a dumber name than this name.
Dolph Ziggler.
I still think it's never worked for him.
Von Wagner is worse than this.
Braun Breaker. I don't know. I hate all those names, actually.
That's what I mean. Like you get used to it over time.
Yeah. No, I thought the main event was good, and hey, a lot of the other matches on this show were good. That 6-man tag was awesome.
I think 6-man was probably my match of the night, but I really enjoyed. Yeah, it was just the women's match that was a bit of a mess, but the other 3 I really enjoyed this week.
Yeah. No, I like
much
the opener.
more than a lot of the shit on Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah. Night 1 of Wrestle Kingdom still had the banging main event, which like was a main event, but over here
5.5 hour show, like
I
need more than
I liked this show. Don't get me wrong, but I still liked that, but it's not nearly comparable. But I would like to see Braun Breaker go with this title for a little while, and I could see him moving up to main roster, tying it up with a bunch of these guys.
Yeah.
He's going to be hot-shotted for sure. But hot episode. I can't believe it. NXT 2.0, New Year's Evil. It was lit. It was a good show, honestly. Honestly, we wouldn't lie to you. But let's see what you guys think, because there is some feedback. Join the Facebook group if you haven't already. Up Next group. We will let you in, and every week we post up, and we will read it here. Like this one I'm reading from Glenn Zadra, who writes in, MSK and Riddle versus Imperium was really, really fun. Does Walter feel a little less intimidating after trimming some weight? Not less intimidating, but I think I was like, oh, he looks a bit like smaller. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not as scary. I don't know. I don't know. Once he's slapping you around.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the time you see him against smaller guys like Tyler Bate and Ilya Dragunov and stuff. So maybe being in there with a Riddle who's a little bigger.
We've seen them wrestle quite a few times before NXT and WWE, but yeah, I know what you're saying, Glenn. I know what you're saying.
We go to Corey, who says that women's triple threat match was a complete mess. All 3 women looked completely awful, especially Mandy. I think it's time to kill this reign. Also, why did Raquel chase after Rose when she tried to run backstage instead of trying to pin Jade? Breaker versus Ciampa was my match of the night. Holla if you hear me.
Yeah, holla if you hear me. Yes. We go to Dave Parker, who says, how long till Daddy Strong and the rest of Diamond Mine get future endeavored? Damn. What you saying? They kick him out of it? They kick Roddy out?
I can't see Diamond Mine going. Like I can't see them getting rid of Ivy Nile and Creed brothers. I think they're pretty high on them.
You didn't say Roddy though.
Well, Roddy, I don't know.
You didn't say Roddy though. You mean Roddy's in the Diamond Mine, right?
Yeah,
right?
Well, he's saying.
Roddy's been watching his friends over in AEW. He's probably like, huh.
Probably doesn't care.
You know,
his wife
care.
as well.
Yeah. Oh, his wife.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's right. Marina Shafir. Oh yeah, she's been on a bit of a tear.
Yeah. Going to the Post Wrestling Forum, I've got something from Jesse from the Six, who said, an enjoyable show. The first match was very good, though the ending was weird. I don't know what that was supposed to be off the top rope. That kind of X-Plex thing. The 6-man was good. Walter is looking lean. He must be working out with Bartel and Eichner. I was disappointed with the women's match. I thought it was sloppy and there was too much WWE acting. Did Von Wagner beat up a child? Yes, he did. Main event was very good. Steiner is really impressive for someone so green, and Ciampa is such a smart wrestler. Even the parts that were a bit sloppy looked like the kind of ugly struggling you might get in a real fight. Having said all that, I'm not optimistic about where NXT 2.0 goes from here. I fear Roddy will be relegated into a nothing role. It looks like we won't get Walter versus Riddle, and I still think it's too soon to put the belt on Steiner. Even so, I'm much more open to watching 2.0 now than I was 3 months ago. Okay, take care.
So he's a bit more optimistic. A show like this, I think so. Me too. You could hear it. There wasn't much on this that I like dismay, like just really hated.
And it's fun to like dislike one segment. It's when you dislike every segment when it gets to you. But
yeah. This show didn't do that.
I can take shitting on Casey and Caden once a week.
Yeah,
if that's it. If the rest is good,
give them the old Texas two-step. You know. We go back to the forum. We're going to read 2 here because the first one's from Dylan, who writes in, I had to be up to 4:30 today, but I'll keep it short. Braun fucking Breaker.
All right.
But Frank Sulo also writes in, Fire Frank, the BDE champ. He says, best 2.0 ever. I'm glad they didn't add any extra matches and gave everyone time. Melo continues to show he's the real deal, and Roddy was showing signs of the vintage Roddy. The 6-man was a lot of fun and always good to see Walter, and it lived up to our expectations. Have we seen the last of 2.0 of Raquel? I wouldn't be shocked if we see her in the Rumble. Ciampa Breaker 2 was better than their first, and I like that they built off the story of Bron learning from his mistakes. And he hit the Bulldog this time and had to bust out the recliner on the bad neck of Ciampa to put him away. Ciampa did everything in his power to get the kid to the next level since his debut, and it paid off tonight. Very entertaining night with the nonsense kept mostly to a minimum. Happy New Year. Shout out helicopters, and I love being a turtle. Nice, Frank. Thank you.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Raquel in the Rumble. You could have her have the kind of big monster spot with most eliminations in the women's. Get her over big.
Yeah.
We go to Magan, who says, a strong outing with good wrestling up and down the card. Strong Hayes was dope, and the Avalanche X-Plex had me rearing back. The 6-man tag was a blast. AJ Styles going to NXT for a while will liven things up. The women's triple threat was a bit on the clunky side, and Ciampa Breaker was very good.
And last one here is Sean McTeer. He's wrote a lot, so I'm not going to read this whole thing. He says, I thoroughly enjoyed New Year's Evil tonight. He thought the segment between Waller and AJ was better than their first one and did much better job setting up the match next week. He says the 6-man was insanely good. He says, unfortunately, the women's match was the weak spot on this card. The main event was great and loved the story of Breaker overcoming his inexperience. He thought tonight was a good way for NXT to start the year. Hopefully, they can keep this momentum going. But
let's hope.
Yeah, let's hope.
For our own sanity, let's hope more of this.
NXT 2.0 continues on.
Yeah.
After a banger show to open up the new year. New Year's Evil. Hey guys, thanks for writing in the feedback and for listening to us talk all about New Year's Evil. We appreciate it, especially in the Twitch chat. Reminder, Tuesday nights, 10:15 p.m. Eastern Time. We record this show, and Wednesdays we do the same thing. Tomorrow night we'll be doing BD Elite, talking all about AEW Dynamite, and tomorrow's Danielson Hangman 2. So I can't wait.
Yeah, it is.
Can't wait to see that. I think is Deeb on the show too? I forget now. There's a few things on this show.
There's a few things being announced, but that's the main one, obviously, kicking off the show.
So super excited to talk all about that as well. So many podcasts as well. We mentioned Patreon.com is how we keep this show going, and for only $5 you get access to all the shows coming out this month. And everything in the back catalog, all the movie reviews, our Home Alone review with Pollock, our Best Match Ever, SmackDown 6th with Way, everything in the back catalog, retro NXT reviews, everything.
And remember, patrons, if you want to declare yourself as an entrant in the Royal Rumble, the upNXT Rumble match, all you got to do is declare. It's that time of the year where everyone declares.
You got to shoot your shot sometimes.
I declare. I'm entering the
I do
upNXT
declare.
Rumble.
Am I allowed to be in it?
I mean, you're not the champ, yeah.
I know. So I can just...
I'm going to go in it. I might rig it, try and be 30.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah. We'll do the Road Dogg spot. We'll just hold on to the bottom rope for the whole match.
That's not a bad idea.
But actually win.
That's how Chris won it last year.
Yeah. Well, yeah, to be fair to Chris, he's trying to prove himself this year by running the gauntlet, going in first.
That's tough.
Or I think he was like, last year I was up till like 3 a.m, so I'll go in first.
Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah.
Well, we have so many shows and fun things scheduled. Again, join us on Facebook, like the Facebook page, and join the group. And then, of course, Twitter, @upNextPodcast for all the updates And yeah, so many podcasts. Best match ever, 1 and 2 coming out. Can't wait for you guys to listen to us talk all about the top 10 matches of 2021, which there was a lot about. But again, we're joining John and Wai for the best of show on the post wrestling feed this Friday, and then next week will be the worst of show 2021. So can't wait for you guys to hear that as well, because we were honored to join John and Wai, the goats of this game. So yeah, that was great.
Always.
Hey, we appreciate you listening to it. I'm happy to be back. I missed you guys so much. I myself, Braden Herrington. I'm on Twitter and I'm on Instagram. I'm at the Brady.
And I am at Davie Portman.
Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And give them the old Texas two-step.
Ahoy!
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.